So tonight I went and saw Obsession for the third time, and I should have made this video already, but I was busy, so we're just gonna make it now. Obsession, my favorite horror movie of all time, and I really do think that it is a contender for Film of the Year. It's amazing. I love every second of it. Every single time I went and saw it, I was smiling from the beginning to the end. I love this movie so much, and I want to watch it again. So, in Obsession, we follow Bear. And Bear has a crush. He has a crush on a girl named Nikki, and he can't quite work up the confidence to tell her his true feelings and just let her know straight up, like, hey, I like you. And there are a few things that go into this. Bear seems like he might not have as much confidence, and he seems kind of like a nervous guy. And what also doesn't help is the fact that she's his friend. They're in the same friend group with a guy named Ian and a girl named Sarah. And, they do friend group stuff. They go play trivia, they do karaoke. And so that just adds to the struggle with him telling her how he feels. In the beginning of the film, we see Bear practicing his dialogue on a waitress in a diner, and his friend Ian is there, and they're running through it, just trying to build confidence in what to tell Nikki and how he should just let her know this big news that he has to tell her. And Bear decides that tonight is the night that he's going to tell her exactly how he feels. So, as the night goes on, Bear gets some bad news. He goes home and his cat has died, and he's dealing with that. And he gets a call from Nikki, and she tells him, like, hey, are you coming to trivia tonight? Like, this is big. We got to beat the Rat Pack, I think they're called. I don't know. And Bear tells her, no, I'm busy. I can't go. And she informs Bear that she is quitting her job because the whole friend group kind of worked together at Sarah's dad's music store. And Nikki wants to be a writer, and she wants to progress her career further, so she's quitting to pursue writing. And that changes Bear's mind, and he decides to go to trivia night to see her. And again, just tonight's the night. He's going back to the original plan. He's finally going to tell her how he feels. So trivia night rolls around. They're all hanging out, getting ready, and Nikki decides she wants to go to the bar, and Bear's gonna follow her, and now's the chance. He's gonna tell her, and he gets so close, but every time he tries to tell her, something happens. Somebody comes up and tries to talk to him. They have to order drinks, and it just doesn't work out. So the night goes on. They finish trivia, and at the end, Ian and Sarah decide they want to go do karaoke, but Nikki doesn't want to. She wants to go home. And Bear, immediately his ears perk up. You want to go home? I didn't want to do karaoke in the first place, so I'll take you home. And we get this car ride where they're conversating, and we can tell that Nikki is a really good person. She's a really sweet person, very caring, and they have this conversation where, it's Nikki has been there for Bear when he needed her and everything, and vice versa, and they're really good friends. And Bear at this point is building the confidence for the whole car ride to tell her how he feels and finally just let the cat out the bag. And on that car ride, that he tells her that he has a gift for her. So before trivia night, we're gonna rewind a little bit. They're on the phone talking, and she drops a necklace down a drain. It's got like a like a gem on it, and she loses it, and so he decides he wants to go get her another one. So he goes to this shop where they sell that kind of stuff, and he can't quite find what he wants, but instead he finds a one wish willow, and it's just like this stick where you make a wish, you break it, and it's just a gimmicky toy that you can sell and make money off of. And the lady at the counter tells him, like, yeah, this is one of our best sellers. They sell it quick. People love them. And so that's the gift he got for her. Pull up to her house, and they're talking. And spoiler alert, I guess. Nikki tells Bear that Sarah actually likes him, but obviously Bear likes Nikki, so he tells her that I just like her as a friend, and they kind of go back and forth, and it's time for her to go. And he didn't ask her. He didn't have the confidence to ask her out or tell her how he really felt. And there's even a point where she literally says, like, hey, Bear, do you like me? He has nothing to say. He doesn't tell her a thing. He doesn't tell her anything. And so she goes back into the house, and out of frustration, he pulls out the one wish wheel that he never gave her, and he says, "I wish Nikki loved me more than anybody in the world," and he snaps it. And immediately, it's like a switch is flipped. The entire tone of the film changes, and it is uncomfortable. It's really weird. So Nikki comes back to the car, and obviously she is just completely off, and she's not Nikki anymore. She is now obsessed with Bear. Obsession does such a great job. I love it so much because it does such a great job at making you uncomfortable and uneasy, and it builds tension really well. It's not like cheesy jump scares or anything. It is really unsettling, and it gives you goosebumps. Every single time I watched it, I knew what was going to happen, but every time I got goosebumps. Like it's really good. I'm gonna talk about the things I like now. There's nothing I don't like. I don't really have anything bad to say about it. I don't have anything that I disliked. So I'm just gonna go off on what I liked about it. And the first thing is the way it's shot. The way it's shot and the framing and everything is really nice, and it does a really good job at that, making it just feel uncomfortable and unnerving. It's really nice to look at. Another thing that I really like is the lighting. The lighting is really nice, and again, just like the framing, it plays in a lot to just the unsettling nature of the film. Like, there's a lot of times where it'll be a dark room, and it'll cut, and you're just looking at this room, and you can tell there's something there. You can tell there's something weird, and you're trying to find it, and then you spot something in the corner, but you can't really tell what it is. So you're squinting, and you're kind of looking like, is that a person? Is that a coat rack? Like, what is that? And so you get a little closer, and then you realize, like, oh, it's a person. Hey, cat's out of the bag. It's Nikki. Obviously, she's the one who's obsessed with Bear. So it's Nikki. But the way it's lit, you can't make out really many features of her. You could tell she's there, and she starts talking and doing really weird stuff, and you're looking, and you're like, there's something weird about the way she looks. There's something weird about her face, and you really have to like look, and it just plays into the unnerving feel of the movie so well. Another part is Nikki, before everything pops off, really, just a little bit towards after he made the wish. She comes to his door, and she's wearing a red dress, and you can see the red dress, and you can see her silhouette. But the lighting is behind her, and her face is dark, and it just makes it unsettling and kind of weird, and she has like this glint in her eye. But it's just really uncomfortable. Like, I don't know what else to call it. It's really uncomfortable. And I obviously it's done extremely intentionally. It's everything from the editing to the framing to the lights and everything. It all plays into just making the film feel really uncomfortable, and it really gives you anxiety. And it's the same with the editing. The one thing that everybody notices, because it's pretty obvious, is the way she moves in the film is really weird. There are times where she'll be standing in a corner, and then she'll walk forwards, and then they'll just reverse it, so she kind of like scurries back to a corner like a little rat. And she just moves really weird, so they'll reverse it and put it in slow-mo and stuff like that. And like I said, it just all plays into the unnerving tone of the movie. Another thing I want to talk about is the characters, and this is a big spoiler warning. I'm diving in nuts first. This is full spoiler warning, so just, gonna put that out there. I'm gonna go through all the characters. I'm gonna start with Ian because I do not like him. I don't like him in the slightest bit. So from the beginning, when Bear's going through dialogue with the waitress at the diner, he is telling Bear constantly, like, no, now's not the right time. You need to wait. You should wait till it's right. Now's not the right time. Don't do it. Don't do it. And he tells him, like, oh, you're taking advantage of Nikki. It seems like he's trying to hold Bear back from telling Nikki how he really feels. And it makes sense because later on in the film, we find out that Ian and Nikki have been sleeping together the whole time. Ian knew that one of his best friends had a crush on this girl, and he decided to hook up with her and not say a word to her. That's not a friend. He's a piece of trash. Also, towards the end, he goes to Ian's house and he's like, "It's real. The One Wish Willow's real. You need to make a wish that I never made a wish. Trust me, please, God, you have to." Bear's covered in blood, obviously distraught. Something awful just happened. And he's telling them everything. He's like, "Please, God, just make this wish, please." And Ian grabs it and immediately goes, "I wish I had $1 billion." And money starts raining from the sky. Like, okay. And then Bear goes home to deal with Nikki, and Ian shows up. He's like, "Bear, you'll never guess. I got $1 billion." I know. I was there. I saw the whole thing. I half expected Bear to jump through the pile of money and choke Ian to death. Like, why? Not only is he a bad friend, but he's just not listening at all. Another character I wanted to talk about was Sarah. So, nobody in this film has, like, a good outcome. It's extremely tragic what happens to everybody. And Sarah is one that is, again, just really sad because she has a crush on Bear. She has liked Bear, and she never told him, and now she kind of has to sit back and watch as he starts dating Nikki, and his dreams are coming true, and Nikki's now in love with him, and she doesn't like it, and she brings up the fact that it's weird that, like, this just happens out of nowhere, like, all of a sudden. And on top of that, she's been trying to get into school, but she keeps getting rejected from different schools. And there's a scene where eventually her and Bear meet up in a parking lot, and she has a letter from Luther, an art college, because she wants to be a tattoo artist. And before she can read it, they're sitting there talking, and they're about to kiss because finally Bear's opened his eyes that, like, this is not what he wanted. It's gone too far, and that maybe he should have been with Sarah. Well, Sarah gets her melon busted immediately. Nikki throws a slab through the window and bashes her head in and kills her. So, like, not only does she have to sit there and watch two of her friends fall in love, one of which she had a crush on, she just never told him. Also, she got accepted into college, and now she'll never be able to live her dreams. So, it's just super tragic fate for her, and just a really sad story. She had to sit back and watch all this. And I know it broke her heart, and it's just really sad. The next character I want to talk about is Nikki. Obviously, the saddest part of the entire movie. Nikki was just a really good, nice person who helped people and was there for her friends and wanted to be a writer and was going to chase her dreams and was going to obviously do great things just based off of who she was. And that hurt everything. Who she was as a person was completely stripped from her. Everything. Because Bear made a wish not knowing that it was real, and it just took away her as a human, and she completely turned into something that she didn't want to be. And that's seen throughout the film, because there are times where she'll snap in and out of being obsessed, and she'll be obsessed with him and she'll be doing crazy things, and then she'll snap and she'll be back to reality, and she'll start freaking out like, where am I, what is going on? And it's just really sad because she loses literally everything, her entire life, her humanity, everything. And at the end of the film, so how it works is once you make a wish, it's pretty much final. You can't change it, you can't cancel it, any of that. The only way to get rid of that wish is if you die. So at the end of the film, Bear kills himself. He takes a bunch of pills, and when he did, Nikki made a wish that Bear would love her more than anybody in the world. So he walks out of the bathroom, and they're in love, and they're kissing, and he ODs. He took a bunch of his grandma's old pills, and now he's dying. And so obviously now that he's dead, the wish is up. It's done. And so Nikki snaps out of this obsession, and she's been, like, out of it, just completely blacked out for who knows how long. And now she's in a room with 3 of her dead friends, because also when she was obsessed, she, shot Ian in the head. So Ian's dead in the house, Bear's dead in the house. She brought Sarah in the house dead, And now she snapped out of this wish. She's not obsessed anymore. She's finally back to herself. And everything's gone. All her friends, everything is gone. And even if she tries to explain it to the cops and whoever finds this, they're not gonna believe her. Nobody's gonna believe that. Like, those wishes don't work. They're just a gimmick. They're a toy. And so she's losing her entire life, her entire future of being a writer. She's losing everything. And it's really sad because she was forced into it by Bear unknowingly. Like, she didn't ask for any of this. She never even liked Bear in the first place. It was revealed that she saw him as like a brother, and obviously she was sleeping with Ian. She didn't like Bear like that. She never wanted to be with him. But he forced her into that position unknowingly, and it's just so sad because she lost, like the other characters, she lost her entire life. The only difference is she's still alive and has to live with it. At least the other three characters are dead and don't have to deal with the aftermath. But Nikki's still alive. She never died. And she's just stuck here. One more character that I wanted to talk about is Sarah's dad, who runs the instrument shop. I think it's really sad that not only did he lose all his employees, but also his daughter. His daughter's gone now, and he obviously will never know what happened because nobody's going to believe what Nikki says. She probably doesn't even know everything that happened. Oh, she definitely doesn't know. And so that's just really sad that he lost his daughter. Character that I want to talk about, because there's a lot said about him, is obviously Bear. So Bear being, the main character is obviously a hot topic, and all of his actions throughout the film people are going to talk about because he's the one who set all this into motion, and he's caused everything that happened. Everything is his fault, whether he meant to do it or not. And a lot of people hate him for it. I do, but I don't. So, first of all, I see a lot of people saying, like, why didn't you just tell her? Why didn't you just tell her how you felt? It's like, it's not that hard. You should have just told her. It is hard. It's hard to admit your love for somebody. It's hard to tell somebody how you feel, especially when that person is your close friend, because you don't want to ruin that relationship with that person. What if they don't feel the same way, and now all of a sudden your friendship's different? It's awkward now because she knows that you have this huge crush on her. And so it's not that easy to just be like, hey, by the way, I want to go out with you. I really like you. It's not that easy. And also, people are mad that he made the wish and, cracked the one wish willow. How is anybody supposed to know that that was going to happen? How is anybody supposed to know that that was real? That if you really make this wish, it is going to be not only be real, but just the consequences are going to be insane. You're not, like, how do you know that? You're not supposed to know that. Even towards the end of the film, when he's talking to Ian, he's like, I didn't think it was real, and I was just confused the whole time. And you can see that throughout the entire film, how Bear's just confused. He looks really uncomfortable and terrified by what Nikki does. He even tells her, like, that was terrifying. Like, what you did last night was scary. He's obviously terrified the entire time of Nikki. And I think it's very clear that he did not want it to go to this extent. He did not want all of this. He wanted to be with her, but he didn't want all of this. Now, that being said, there are two things that have to be mentioned, which I think it definitely makes Bear unlikable, and he is just obviously does not care about Nikki and what she's going through mentally, and just her as a person, and he's mainly just focused on himself. One of the scenes is he goes home and he finds the One Wish Willow box, and he decides to call the number on the back because he doesn't want this to happen. It's obviously gone too far. It hasn't quite reached its peak yet and how insane it can be, but it's obviously gone too far. So he calls the number and he's talking, and he says he wants to alter a wish. Knowing everything that happened, he doesn't want it to go back to normal. He doesn't want to give Nikki her humanity back and who she is as a person. He wants to alter it so that she can still be with him, just not be a psycho. Which is like, what? Like, why? What are you talking? You know that she does not like you. She just doesn't. Sarah likes you. And you are willing to alter the wish, but not just completely undo it to give her humanity back. You only care about yourself and you want to be with her so bad and you're selfish. You don't want her to be with anybody else. Even like knowing that she doesn't like you, you want to alter it. And the guy on the phone's like, "Do you want to cancel your wish?" And he's like, "No, I don't want to alter it. I mean, cancel it. I want to alter it." He does not want her to be herself again because he knows that if he's herself, they're not going to be together. She's going to go off to art school and they'll never be together. And it's just like, that's so selfish. That's such a selfish thing to do. Another scene is when Bear gets out of bed and he's going to meet Sarah because she said that she had something to tell him. And when he gets up, he hears Nikki say, like, "Kill me." Like Nikki is begging Bear to kill her. But it's not the Nikki that's physically there. It's her, like who she was. It's the real Nikki. It's not this obsessed psycho Nikki, this weird demon that Bear made. It is the real Nikki saying, "Please kill me. She's asleep. This is not me. Please kill me." And Bear says something along the lines of, "Is it really that hard to be with me?" What are you talking about? Everything she has done up to that point is psychotic. And she's about to do something even worse. And you hear her, whether it's the real her or your subconscious in your head telling you that this isn't right. She wants to die. She does not want to be this obsessed Nikki. And the only thing you can think about is yourself. The only thing you care about is, "Oh, you don't want to be with me? Why not?" Like, what are you talking about? You don't care about her. You don't. You care about yourself. You're the one who's obsessed with her. She was never obsessed with Bear. He is obsessed with her, and he's so selfish. He does not want her to be her own person. He obviously doesn't want it to go to the extent that it goes to, but he still wants her no matter what. Even if she doesn't want it, he doesn't care. He wants her. And that's what makes him so unlikable. Another thing I wanted to talk about was there's a really nice part of the, so the whole film is really, like I said 100 times, really unnerving. Really, it makes you really uncomfortable. It makes you anxious. It has you on the edge of your seat, wondering what's going to happen next. What is Nikki going to do? How is Bear going to respond? Who's he going to tell? Like, what's he going to do to fix this? Does he want to fix it? Obviously not. He's selfish. But there's a part where after he makes the wish, it hasn't gone tits up yet, but there's a nice little montage sequence where they start dating and they're eating breakfast and watching movies and cooking and just doing all this really nice stuff together. And it's like, it's a nice montage of what seems like two people in love. And it kind of pulls you away from how uncomfortable the film is and puts you in this world of like, oh, like, this is just a couple in love. This is really nice. And then you're immediately snap back into it. And I just really like that sequence in the film. Overall, I seriously have no problems with this movie. I love it so much. It's very, very quickly from the first time I saw it became my favorite horror movie of all time. I love it so much. One thing I didn't mention was the acting, especially the main actress who plays Nikki. I'm gonna not say her name right if I say it, so I'm just gonna leave it at that. The actress who plays Nikki, she's great. I haven't seen her in anything else, but I really hope that I do in the future. The acting across the board was just amazing, and Curry Barker also just did an amazing job. This was made. I'm not gonna go off on a rant about indie films and the state of film right now, even though I could for the next another 20 minutes. But Curry Barker did an amazing job. This film had a budget of like $700K, and it's already grossed $100 million. That is insane, and it's only going to get better. It got an extended window for the theaters. It's incredible. But I just have nothing bad about saying it. I just have nothing bad to say about it. It just keeps you on the edge of your seat, makes you uncomfortable, and really pulls you in with the characters and their dynamics, and makes you question a lot with Bear. And the ending is insane. The ending is crazy. I didn't actually think Bear would do what he did. So yeah, I highly recommend that everybody go sees it. Today was my third time seeing it, and I'm gonna see it again. I'm gonna make my girlfriend watch it, even though she doesn't like horror movies. This is goes beyond. I think this is a movie everybody has to watch. I love it so much, and I just can't like stop ranting about it more than I have. Every single chance I get, I'm talking about it. So yeah, that's about it.